Warsaw is the capital and largest city of Poland. It is an alpha global city, a major cultural, political, and economic hub, and the country's seat of government. From the Warsaw Chopin Airport, bus 175 takes you to the city. You can purchase a one-way single ticket, valid for 75 minutes from one of these ticket machines. The Palace of Culture and Science is a notable high-rise building in central Warsaw. With a total height of 237 meters, it is the second tallest building in the city. The palace was also the tallest clock tower in the world until the installation of a clock mechanism on the NTT Docomo Yoyogi building in Tokyo, Japan. Since 2007, it has been enlisted in the Registry of Objects of Cultural Heritage. Constructed in 1955, it houses various public and cultural institutions such as cinemas, theaters, libraries, sports clubs, university faculties, and authorities of the Polish Academy of Sciences. Julius Słowacki was a Polish romantic poet. He is considered one of the three bards of Polish literature, a major figure in the Polish Romantic period and the father of modern Polish drama. This giant cast iron statue of Nike, as in the Greek goddess of victory, standing with sword raised aloft, this noble structure is officially named Monument to the Heroes of Warsaw. It remembers the thousands of locals who fought against and died under Nazi rule. The National Theatre in Warsaw was founded in 1765 during the Polish Enlightenment by the country's monarch Stanislaw August Poniatowski. The theatre shares the Grand Theatre complex at the Theatre Square with another national venue, the Poland's National Opera. Beloto is a five-star hotel located within the walls of the 16th century Bishop's Palace, situated in Warsaw's vibrant old town. In this temple, 15-year-old Frédéric Chopin, brilliant Polish musician, played the Allo Melodicon for the Tsar Alexander I. Also here, the artist sang and listened to the sermons. memorial is dedicated to the victims of the Smolensk disaster, the plane crash that happened in Smolensk, Western Russia. It killed 96 people, including Polish officials and the then president Lech Kaczynski and his wife Maria. The names of all the victims appear on it in alphabetical order. The tomb of the unknown soldier is dedicated to the unknown soldiers who have given their lives for Poland. It is one of many such national tombs of unknowns that were erected after the First World War, and the most important such monument in Poland. The Field Cathedral of the Polish Army is the main garrison church of Warsaw and the representative cathedral of the entire Polish Army. The Chopin benches can be found in 15 places across Warsaw. Frédéric Chopin is one of the world's most well-known composers and Poland's most famous musician. He was born in Warsaw, where he spent the first 20 years of his life before leaving to start a new life in Paris. Located on the southern side of Kaczynski Square, Warsaw Uprising Monument is dedicated to the Warsaw Uprising of 1944. Unveiled in 1989, it has been described as the most important monument of post-war Warsaw. The Warsaw Uprising, which broke out on 1st August 1944 and lasted until the 2nd of October 1944, was one of the most important and devastating events in the history of Warsaw and Poland. Up to 90% of Warsaw's buildings were destroyed during the hostilities and the systematic destruction of the city carried out by the Germans after the uprising. The Krasinski Palace, also known as the Palace of the Commonwealth, is a reconstructed Baroque palace. Initially erected between 1677 and 1683 for the Krasinski family, it was heavily damaged during World War II and rebuilt in the mid-20th century. The Warsaw Ghetto boundary markers are memorial plaques and boundary lines that mark the maximum perimeter of the former ghetto established by Nazi Germany in 1940 in occupied Warsaw. Here in this place in Warsaw, Maria Sklodowska was born on November 7, 1867. It was then the Kingdom of Poland, part of the Russian Empire. She later became the only woman to win Nobel Prize in two sciences, physics and chemistry. Located at a dramatic point, only a few minutes walk from the new town market square, standing and looking down over the multimedia park fountain, you come across this iconic life-size monument of Maria Sklodowska-Curie. This monument was a gift of the Association of Members of the Legion of Honor and the French National Order of Merit, and is not only a tribute to arguably history's greatest female scientist, but also a symbol of French-Polish friendship. It was unveiled in 2014 to coincide with the 80th anniversary of Curie's passing. She looks towards the river Vistula, holding in her hand polonium, the element which she discovered in 1898 and named after Poland. This bronze bench is an intelligent and appropriate homage to Sir William Hill Hindley, the British civil engineer. Between 1881 and 1889, he oversaw the construction of Warsaw waterworks designed by his father. Folk etymology attributes the city name to Wars and Sawa. There are several versions of the legend with their appearance. According to one version, Sawa was a mermaid living in the Vistula with whom fisherman Wars fell in love. The mermaid is a symbol of Warsaw, represented on the city's coat of arms, as well as in a number of statues and other imagery. This is the largest of the Warsaw mermaid statues, located where the Świętokrzyski Bridge crosses the Vistula River. This bronze statue was made by the sculptress Louise Nistrowa in 1939 and is about 25 feet tall. The Nicholas Copernicus Monument in Warsaw is one of Polish capital's notable landmarks. The monument features a bronze statue of Renaissance astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus holding a compass and armillary spear. Born in Poland, Copernicus was a Renaissance polymath, active as a mathematician, astronomer, and Catholic canon, who formulated a model of the universe that placed the sun rather than Earth at its center. The Staszic Palace is the seat of the Polish Academy of Sciences. It was here Marie Curie gave a lecture on the Radium Institute in Paris and the importance of creating such an institution in Poland. The Church of the Holy Cross is a Roman Catholic house of worship in Warsaw. It is one of the most notable Baroque churches in Poland's capital. In the late 19th century, the church interior was slightly refurbished, and in 1882, an urn containing the heart of Frédéric Chopin was immured in a pillar. The seat of the Faculty of Geography and Regional Studies of the University of Warsaw is a historic building, currently having the status of a monument. It is the Juryski Czetwertyński Palace. The main gate is one of the most distinguishable symbols of the university. It is ornamented with a crowned eagle surrounded with 5 stars, which symbolize the first 5 faculties of the university. The Visitationist Church is one of the most notable Rococo churches in Warsaw. Its construction was begun in 1664 and completed in 1761. In front of this late Baroque church stands a statue of Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski, Primate of Poland from 1948 to 1981. The church's main claim to fame in Polish eyes is that Frédéric Chopin used to play the church organ here, mainly during services for school children. Considered as Warsaw's oldest and one of the country's most luxurious hotels, Hotel Bristol is a historic 5-star luxury hotel built in the neo-Renaissance style and opened in 1901 in Warsaw. The hotel is one of the most notable historic monuments of the Royal Route and remains among the few landmarks of Warsaw which emerged relatively unscathed from the city's near total destruction during World War II. The Royal Route in Warsaw is a former communication route that led southward from the city's old town. It now comprises a series of connecting Warsaw streets that feature a number of historic landmarks. Originally constructed in 1643 as an aristocratic mansion, the Presidential Palace is the official residence of the Polish head of state and president alongside the Belvedere Palace. It is the largest of Warsaw's palaces. On 14th May 1955, the Warsaw Pact was signed inside the Presidential Palace between the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc countries. Since July 1994, the palace has been the official seat of the President of the Republic of Poland. At the beginning of the 19th century, Napoleon Bonaparte was here, as well as 8-year-old Frédéric Chopin, who gave his first concert in the palace. The Royal Route began as a communication route that led from the Royal Castle and Castle Square to King Jan III Sobieski's personal residence known as Villa Nov. This lovely stone Madonna and Child was sculpted by royal sculptor Joseph Bellotti and placed in this present position in 1683 as a votive offering of King Jan III Sobieski's victory over the Turks at Vienna. St. Anne's Church, in the historic center adjacent to the Castle Square, is one of Poland's most notable churches with a neoclassical facade. The church ranks among Warsaw's oldest buildings. Over time, it has seen many reconstructions, resulting in its present-day appearance unchanged since 1788. Currently, it is the main church parish of the academic community in Warsaw. The Copper Roof Palace is an 18th century palace in Warsaw. It takes its name from the copper roof, a rarity in the first half of the 18th century. Since 1989, the palace has been a branch of the Royal Castle Museum. The Castle Square is a historic square in front of the Royal Castle, the former official residence of Polish monarchs. It is a popular meeting place for tourists and locals. The square, of somewhat triangular shape, features the landmark Sigismund's Column to the southwest and is surrounded by historic townhouses. It marks the beginning of the bustling royal route extending to the south. Located at Castle Square, Sigismund's Column, originally erected in 1644, is one of Warsaw's most famous landmarks as well as the first secular monument in the form of a column in modern history. It commemorates King Sigismund III Vasha, who in 1596 had moved Poland's capital from Krakow to Warsaw. On the Corinthian column, which used to be red marble and is 8.5 meter tall, a sculpture of the king, 2.75 meter tall in archaistic armor, is placed. The column now stands at 22 meters and adorned by 4 eagles. The king is dressed in armor, carries a cross in one hand and wields a sword in the other. Situated in the castle square at the entrance to the Warsaw Old Town, the Royal Castle in Warsaw is a state museum and a national historical monument, which formerly served as the official royal residence of several Polish monarchs. Built in the 15th century, this castle served as the residence of the Mazovian princess. Once the capital was moved to Warsaw from Krakow, the castle served as the seat of the king and the government. The personal offices of the king and the administrative offices of the royal court were located in the castle from the 16th century until the final partition of Poland in 1795. The castle has been renovated repeatedly and destroyed completely during the Second World War. In 1980, the castle and surrounding Old Town became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The royal castle witnessed many notable events in Poland's history. The Constitution of 3rd May 1791, first of its type in Europe and the world's second oldest codified national constitution, was drafted here by the four-year parliament. The royal castle holds a significant collection of Polish and European art and is the 15th most visited art museum in the world, with over 1.1 million visitors in 2021. This monument honors Jan Kaliński, a Warsaw cobbler who became the unlikely hero of the 1794 Kosciuszko uprising. The Warsaw Barbican is a semicircular fortified outpost and one of few remaining relics of the complex network of historic fortifications that once encircled Warsaw. Located between the old and new towns, it is a major tourist attraction. The Barbican had the form of a three-level semicircular bastion manned by fusiliers. It was 14 meters wide and 15 meters high from the bottom of the moat which surrounded the city walls and extended 30 meters from the external walls. Erected in 1540, it was designed by Jan Baptist the Venetian, an Italian Renaissance architect who lived and worked in the Mozov region of 16th century Poland and was instrumental in the redesign of the 14th century city walls, which by that time had fallen into disrepair. Located on Podwell Street, next to the ramparts of Warsaw's old town, the Little Insurrectionist is a statue in commemoration of the child soldiers who fought and died during the Warsaw Uprising in 1944. A long time ago, when Warsaw was a fishing village, the sea and the river were inhabited by golden-haired mermaids. One day, one of them set off from the Baltic to the south. She swam along the Vistula, admiring the landscapes she passed. When she got tired, she decided to rest on the sandy bank of the river at the foot of today's old town. She liked to play tricks, and the local fishermen suspected that someone was stirring the water and taking fish from their nets. The mermaid was not scared of the fishermen and began to sing a song about the Vistula. Hearing her singing, the fishermen fell in love with her. There was still danger, however, for the mermaid. One day, a rich merchant trapped and imprisoned her. Later, hearing her cries, the fishermen rescued her from the merchant. Ever since, the mermaid, armed with a sword and a shield, has been ready to help protect the city and its residents. This legend is further expanded to say the Little Mermaid in Copenhagen is the Warsaw Mermaid's sister, and they went separate ways from the Baltic Sea. The Old Town Square is the oldest and one of the most charming squares in Warsaw. It is impossible not to fall in love with this place. It was laid out at the turn of the 13th and 14th centuries. Festivities and markets were organized here, but convicts were also executed. Although it is more than 7 centuries old, its form has hardly changed. In the middle of the square stands the statue of the Warsaw mermaid, the emblem and guardian of the city.